Welcome to the New York Times. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking all about Lee Zeldon becoming the EPA head. Kamala Harris's campaign spent a whopping $1.5 billion over 15 weeks. A bunch of swastikas have been seen walking around America. It's actually the newest designer handbag thing. Ooh. And of course, we're talking about how Jake Paul is freaking Jewish.
What?
And the Bible beef for goyim now. This is the New York Times, baby.
All the news that fits the print. Oh, we got it this time.
We did it pretty good that time.
Yeah, there's a bit of a... We now have production, so we could fix these things in post.
Yes, I don't know if you guys can see at home. Actually, I can guarantee you can't see at home. But
It would
right
be very
now,
weird if you could.
there is 7. We have a staff of 7 people that we've employed here to make sure that this broadcast goes off without a hitch.
And they're all wearing different dresses. My idea.
Yeah, that's right. 7 different dresses for 7 different beautiful technicians, okay?
They're gorgeous. Hi, boys.
So you're going to probably notice a change in the quality of these videos going forward, but because of that, we think that now is a good time to probably tell you to subscribe to the New York Times, baby.
We're on all listening platforms, anywhere you can get your ears around. Name them, Eitan.
That's right. Spotify,
Bing.
Apple. We're not on Amazon Music just yet.
Don't know how to get there.
I think I saw Stitcher. Hey, we're on Stitcher, apparently.
On Stitcher. We're in the hospital, baby.
You know, that's what it is. We're a bunch of doctors suturing up your news for your ears.
I'm sick of hearing my patients yell for help. Let me put in some AirPods and listen to the smooth sailings of the New York Times.
Here's what, before we start with the actual news that we're going on here.
Which is, by the way, 90 minutes of our podcast is before we start to the...
Yeah, eventually we do get to it at the end, but that's unfortunately when the credits roll. You're getting married this weekend. Where you registered? If I was getting married, I would register at GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Or I would register at Venmo.
You would register at Venmo?
I would register at Venmo. If I ever get married, you guys can all just buy me gifts on Venmo.
PayPal sounds like a wedding registry website.
Ooh, PayPal. Well, technically, isn't it like involved with eBay and stuff like that?
PayPal is in a monogamous relationship with eBay.
Nah.
They're together.
Let's say I'm in a polyamorous relationship with Netflix
and
Amazon and HBO Max, baby.
This man subscribes.
Where are you registered?
I'm registered in the state of Arizona.
No. I mean, like, for gifts.
I'm registered
wait, why
online.
Are you, wait, back up 1 second. Why are you registered in Arizona? Are you committing tax fraud?
Yes, and...
Oh.
My cousin Judge Siegel, who's run several times for some position in office, and she has a fun little pencil that looks like a hammer, so it has erasers on both ends. You don't practically need erasers on both ends of a pencil, but it is very fun. She married us. She's my cousin, and we thought it'd be fun.
But you're only registered in Arizona.
Yeah.
Why?
So we can only have kids
in Arizona. That's got to be a burden.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's worth the trip.
You know, that's essentially what the mikveh is.
Yeah, the mikveh.
Unfortunately, our mikveh is located in Sedona, and that's the only place we can go. Wait, why are you really registered in Arizona?
Yeah, we got married. I wanted to do an Elvis Presley wedding out in Vegas, but we got married in Arizona. The weather was nice. It was in February.
Does that create any like restrictions on what you can do if you're registered in Arizona versus like being in New York?
Not according to my wife. She could move around.
Yeah, but she's British, so I don't exactly think that she's an expert on American.
No, she did not know where Arizona. She thought Arizona was a suburb of the great state of New Jersey.
Yeah. At what point is the government going to use this broadcast as like evidence against you in some sort of marriage trafficking? This is a green card marriage.
I know we made it when Homeland Security comes to the apartment that my new apartment.
Does it say green card marriage on the ketubah?
It says Mikey green card on the ketubah. It says Hersharoni Ben.
It says this is a marriage of convenience.
Yeah, but it's all in ancient Aramaic, so I don't think the feds are there just yet.
Can I confess something?
Please.
So one time, you know there's the rule in Judaism where if anytime you're signing a document, you can't have had any liquor or had any, like your brain has to be clear.
You got to be stone cold sober.
Stone sober.
Which is crazy because in the olden days, I don't think they drank water. I think it was just ale and wine.
It was purely wine. You would drink, the kids would drink wine, the adults would drink wine.
You can tell when someone's though trying to write a ketubah in Aramaic, if you kind of slur, if it's like...
Wait. Here's my thing though. I one time was one of the witnesses for a ketubah signing.
Oh, yeah?
And I got really drunk before I wasn't told about the fact that I would be doing this ketubah. So there is a ketubah out there.
And even if you had been told, you still would have gotten really drunk.
Yeah. No, I mean, I actually would have gotten drunker.
Yeah.
I would have been like, no. This is hanging in your house.
I've done more ketubahs than you could ketubah, man.
Let me breathe the ring girl. Let me breathe the ring girl. But I signed a ketubah, and I want to say I have signed multiple ketubahs out there.
Is that true?
There is one of them that technically is not legal.
Oh, boy.
So those kids, and there's a couple of kids that came out of that ketubah signing, those are not real kids. Those are goyim.
Those kids.
Goyim number one and goyim number two. Okay, let's hit the news stories first.
Yes, enough about my marriage.
Let's get into
the
freaking marriage
stuff.
We are on a time constraint today.
That's true.
Well, I hope the wedding goes well. I famously I was invited to the schmorg and then not the
we cannot afford you for the actual table, but you're willing to view from a distance.
That is right. I couldn't go anyways. I'm busy.
Yeah, I didn't want to have you anyways.
I got family stuff going on.
Very good. You'll come to the next one.
Please. I only 3 or 4 more weddings, and then that's it.
And then I get to go to heaven.
Yeah.
I think that's the rule. If you make yourself a match 3 or 4 times, you go straight to Shamayim.
That is so funny. It's like it's 3 matches and it's 5 divorces.
Yes.
You have to break up a couple marriages.
You need the correct stats on the stat sheet of marriage and divorces to get in.
Okay, here we go. News story number 1. Over the weekend, there have been a ton of swastika marches that have popped up across America. The biggest one happened in Columbus, Ohio. And good news, the governor of Ohio and the White House have condemned it.
Oh, yeah?
So they actually were like, hey, don't march around with swastikas in Columbus. On Saturday, a big group, around a dozen mass individuals carrying Nazi flags and hurling anti-Semitic and racist rhetoric happened in Columbus. The display comes after only a week after another neo-Nazi gathering happened in Michigan outside a community theater's production of The Diary of Anne Frank, which is, one of the funniest,
did you say musical productions or did I have an aneurysm?
This was theater production.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Anne Frank the musical. I just didn't know for
the entire musical.
I'm in the attic.
No. It's
Where is she? She's in the attic.
No, the entire musical would be like whisper sang.
Yes. It would be a very quiet
musical. Yeah, it would just be a very quiet, like, are they gonna get us? No. Shut up. Shut your brother up now. I can hear them under the floor.
And take off your tap shoes.
A 5, 6, 7, 8. No, they hear us. Anyways, so the display. So a week ago, it happened in Michigan outside theater production of The Diary of Anne Frank.
Yep.
Also, over the weekend, hundreds of people in Philadelphia suburb turned up outside a public library to protest a Nazi flag that had been flown briefly outside of a private residence in Whitpain Township, and a similar, though much smaller, rally had taken place in the state capital of Harrisburg. Following a neo-Nazi demonstration there. Here is my big question for you.
Yes.
Neo-Nazis, are they back?
It is swastika season, my friend. That's all I can say. Nazis in.
Nazis in. Antifa out.
Antifa out.
Yeah. Protesters out, Nazis in.
That's
what's
back
happened.
In. Protesters, you had your moment.
Yeah.
You had your tents and whatever. It's just not as portable as a flag.
You know what the difference is between the protesters and the people that do the swastikas and stuff like that?
I sure hope that there's a lot.
Oh, there's 4 things. There's a ton of them. First of all, age and race. Aside from that,
they all went to Ivies.
That's funny. The what's it called? The swastika protests, like the swastika marches. They happen.
Sorry, swastika protests meaning they protest the swastikas, or they're marching with swastikas.
Okay,
and they're protesting something else.
We got to break it down to 2 categories.
Yeah.
There's swastika. There's the protesters, and then there's the swastika marchers.
Yeah.
Okay, the protesters, college. The swastika marchers, this is the Columbus and stuff like that. So first of all, I will say, the biggest difference is that the encampment protesters, they only do it when it's not cold.
Yes.
And
they are seasonal protesters.
They are fair weather protesters. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not protesting if it dips below 65 degrees.
Yes.
You know,
that's in their list of demands.
It's in their list. They said, we demand that the Jews keep the weather nice and warm for us.
Jews, you got to keep it above 65 or we're not coming out.
The swastika marchers, though.
Yeah. Great.
Balaclavas. Good warm glove.
Balaclavas.
Wait, that's baklava is the pastry.
Balaclava
is the face mask.
Really?
Thing.
So it's really just a mix. It's just 2 letters off of a baklava to a balaclava.
I think it's the same group, and the Molotov cocktails guys
and the Molotovas.
But I'm saying that The swastika marchers, they get balaclavas, they have warm coats. They come ready. They are more survivalists than the protesters who do the encampments.
They can march year round.
Yeah, you can march year round versus I think the protesters can at most march for a couple of months in San Diego.
Yeah. They're definitely they're more on tour. The marchers, they're in fair weather states.
I will also say scarier flags, way scarier than the protesters.
The swastika flags.
Yeah.
Can we first of all, did they update their looks? Has it always been red and black?
It actually looked...
Remind me from... let me go into my ancestral trauma.
No, I thought that it was like white and black and then some red on it. Is this the new...
Well, this will only be the 8th time I'm searching swastika on my computer today.
What a hot rebrand.
Let's look at the...
It's the rebrand.
The back.
It used to be white, and then
they update. Yeah, I think they'll do throwback jersey swastikas soon. I think they'll come back to it, but it looks like...
Do you know what these swastikas from these the new marchers look like? They look like Fortnite skin swastikas. Like the makers of Fortnite ended up becoming a bunch of neo-Nazis over there. But yeah, it is terrifying times. I feel bad for everyone. Yeah.
Look at those flags.
Yeah. God, I'm not going to lie. Terrifying.
They're I think they just... I don't know if they're actually doing anti-Semitic stuff. I think they just wanted to show off these flags. I mean, they're cool.
And this is my ranking of the scariness of flags, by the way, of the flags that of people that hate us.
We need to read. We need to get into the
ranking.
1 second. Eitan Levine and Mikey Greenblatt, co-hosts of the New York Times. We present to you today
a ranking of the flags of terrorist groups that hate the Jews.
Okay, first one, Columbia University.
This is coming in at number 4. That was funny. Okay, we got 4. Okay, so there's 4 flags that we have to rank. Okay,
let's start with
swastikas. These are the 4. It's the swastikas, Hezbollah.
Okay, 1 sec. Let me get a visual. We got the Hezbollah flag.
We got the Hezbollah flag. We got the swastika flag.
Whoa.
Hamas.
Okay, fine. We're gonna list all of them, and then we'll go through them. Okay, go list your 4.
We have the swastikas, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthi, and then I'll put in the IRGC flag in there.
Okay, so what are we starting with first?
Okay,
let's dissect here.
And we're ranking them in order of scariness or ones that we like.
Okay, and this is more on the flags than on the group itself.
Yeah, this is not a commentary on the group itself.
No, we don't condemn any of these groups. We're just talking about the flags. So for anyone here that's, big Houthi heads, it's just the flags.
The New York Times, just like the White House, condemns swastikas.
Yes, the New York Times, just like the New York Times, does not condemn any of these terrorist organizations.
So these are flags that we like. We look at these flags and we say, this is a nice flag.
Yes.
And by that metric, I will say, then unfortunately, swastika, bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Because that is a scary flag, even if you put it in pink. Or
there's no fun. You can't put like little smiley faces in it. It's very hard to draw.
Very hard to draw.
Historically, very hard to draw.
There's all those swastikas, synagogues spray painted by swastikas that look like someone just farted on it.
Yeah, they don't know. Don't spray swastikas if you don't know what you're doing.
I'm going to go with flag number 2, IRGC. Flag number 2, it's this flag. Look at you can get it up. But the IRGC flag, it's that third one, number 3.
This one?
Nope. It's top row. Top row.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That is the IRGC flag.
Do they make carpets like that as well?
I literally was about to say, it looks like a tablecloth.
Yeah, it's
Too much
gorgeous.
stuff happening. I think that if you're a state or whatever, you have to have a very concise one symbol. This looks like... it looks like the Talmud, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
There's different commentary.
This looks like a Koran Siddur.
Yeah.
Wait, so this is the Islamic Revolution right
here?
Yeah,
IRGC, the Guard. These are the ones that pay off Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Speaking of which, flag number 3 that I don't like at all or that isn't fun is going to be the Houthi flag.
Okay, let's get into it.
The Houthi flag is a bunch of words on it that, if you're unfamiliar, it's just 3 levels. It's 4 levels of words. And the 4 levels of words, they say God is great, death to America, death to Israel, curse on the Jews, victory to Islam. Why does this rank low? Economy of words.
Right.
A lot of these,
so wordy.
You can put God is great, death to America, death to Israel. Curse on the Jews and victory to Islam, I think, is repetitive at that point.
Right. It's a 2-in-1 situation. You can kill 2 birds, or they probably killed way more than 2 birds, but you could kill 2 birds with one grenade.
Rock. With one booby trap. Okay, then I'm going to go at number 2 overall. We're going to go with Hamas. Hamas, you have a pure green background with a bunch of white words in it.
Okay.
Now, that's a very simple flag. It gets the point across. Yeah. Now, it does look like a menorah.
It looks very much like a candelabra.
Yeah, like a candelabra, an 8 handed candelabra.
Right. Is Hamas handing out latkes? That's the question.
I would see this on the side of the Chabad mitzvah tank and think, I'm about to get asked if I didn't put tefillin on today.
Yep, that's true. This Hamas flag. It also looks. It looks like the highlights magazine where you have to find like a hidden spoon in it or something like that. I'm like okay, I see all the Arabic, but like where's the egg?
It does look like a Rorschach.
Where's the spoon? Where is it?
The Hamas flag looks like a Rorschach test.
Yeah, I was thinking, why does it look like my father yelling at me?
Hey, there it is over there. And the last flag that we got is the Hezbollah flag.
You're putting Hezbollah at number one.
Hezbollah number one. That flag looks like the Brazil flag.
Wow,
it's very fun. It's
I
very
root for
summery.
This soccer team.
Ooh, I like the red. I actually like I think that the one where it's just yellow and green is the standard one, but I do like this red.
No, I like this. It feels like
version.
It feels like an IPA, doesn't it?
I want to point out, by the way,
an IPA.
The flag that you looked at is, I swear to God, a redesigned fan flag put on Reddit. Someone made a fan edit of the Hezbollah flag and put it onto Reddit.
You're right. It does say Reddit, and this actually just turned this very fun conversation to
terrifying.
But it's on RS Vexology, so I guess it's like vexing when you're editing. I guess it's just really how to vex your terrorist flag.
But look at this, the Hezbollah flag, that yellow, that green. Honestly, I've got shoes that match it. I think you can whip that flag out around World Cup soccer time.
It works with a lot of different outfits. It really does.
And can I just say,
please,
I'm looking at it, I'm thinking mint julep.
You
know, I'm thinking summer drink.
Yep.
I'm thinking pineapple
Goes
daiquiri.
Down smooth.
You know? Anyways, that's the ranking of the Hezbollah flags.
Comment your favorite terrorist flag below.
And if we missed any, let us know. Next up, Kamala Harris's campaign apparently wasted $1.5 billion over
I heard
15
why.
weeks.
She's sending her daughter to a yeshiva.
Hey!
Wait, let's retake that. I want to say son.
That was really funny.
Some people will probably hate that.
Oh, yeah. El Imhoff is not going to yeshiva.
Yeah, okay.
Take it.
So Kamala wasted $1.5 billion on her campaign. You heard why?
Why?
She's sending her son to yeshiva.
Oh! $1.5 billion. That's about 3 years of Ramaz, give or take over there.
Now you know Aramaic, son.
$1.5 billion, 15 weeks. $100 million was spent per week. Concerts included Lady Gaga, John Bon Jovi, Christina Aguilera, James Taylor, Katy Perry. $1 million to Oprah.
And this is really going to win the white male vote.
That's right.
When I hear these artists, I'm thinking this is the target demographic that she was trying to take from Trump, which is the white male vote. And let me tell you, white males love all of these artists.
When I was reading this, when I read Lady Gaga, John Bon Jovi, Christina Aguilera, James Taylor, in my head, I'm like, man, I hope Katy Perry's on that list.
Yes.
Lo and behold, she's on the list, but it gets even better.
Oh,
she spent $600 million on media buying, $111 million on ads seeking donations. Also, she spent $900,000 on transforming a Day of the Sphere in Las Vegas into a Kamala Harris advertisement. Overall bill for the election eve rallies that essentially were rallies celebrating a loss topped $10 million. During the entire campaign between Biden and Harris, they spent $2.15 billion. Wow. This is what happens when you don't have any Jewish accountants on your payroll.
They couldn't. This is tzedakah. This is a tax write-off. This is charity. What are they doing over here? Allocate resources, buy a synagogue, invest in real estate, play the long game, lady.
Yeah, this is like, you can just tell that there was no angry, crotchety old Jewish man in the background in a,
who's John Bon Jovi?
Are you out of your mind? $1 million? What, $900,000 for the Sphere? I could get you $50. You could take out an ad in the 5 Towns Jewish Times.
Yeah.
You know? Which, by the way, was OAN before OAN came along.
This is true.
But it was just, it's crazy. I was looking at their trustees also about like who the people that were in charge of the campaign. There's like barely any Jews on this.
You have to go out of your way to not have Jewish trustees. You have to literally go out of your way to not have it.
Yeah, you'd have to go all the way to, where is she from?
She's from California.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you'd have to go. She found the only non-Jewish accountant in fucking California.
Just go to your neighbor, Kamala.
Insane. And then the thing was also is that she was spending all this money. I don't think Trump like barely spent any. I think he had about $1.2 billion. And once again, this is not an endorsement of anyone, okay? Yes. I think at this point we can all agree that we hate everybody.
Yes, we
Everyone sucks.
We don't like a thing, and that's what keeps us going.
I haven't liked a thing since
Cheney.
Since Cheney shot that guy in the face, I have not liked anything in politics.
What an act.
If you had to spend so let's say you were put in charge of this, $1.2 billion, what are you spending to get the election?
Okay, $1.2 billion in my pocket. First of all, I'm going to the swing states. All right? I've already locked in. If I'm a Democrat, I've already locked in my blues.
If I was then, I would have spent $1.2 billion on one swing state.
Yeah.
Just swing one of, because they lost all 7 and the popular vote.
You could probably buy a state with that money.
Yeah.
And swing it.
Yeah, she should have bought electoral college votes, for sure.
Oh, she could have put a swing in every person's backyard. Swings for swing states. What are you doing in my backyard, sir? I'm building you a playground. Why? Kamala Harris, vote. Sure thing.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Not vote for Kamala Harris? She built a swing set in the backyard.
She built a swing set in my backyard.
Yeah, I think buy one state. That's what I would do. 100%. You buy one state, and then
it's
give everyone
a monopoly
there.
board of states.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm putting Pennsylvania. It's probably like a light blue. I'm not putting it as a dark blue. Broadway Park Place kind of monopoly board state. No. But it's a light blue. Yeah. It's right before jail. Probably.
Oh my God! I would have. Josh Shapiro also. I would have given him a couple bucks just to have.
Gotta give that Jew that money, huh?
Just a little bit of bucks out there. Is there anything else that I would kind of spend the money on? I mean, I would have she did such a bad job at like appealing to anybody that wasn't her.
How do you spend that much money and not appeal to anyone? It doesn't make any sense.
How do you spend that much money and not hire one man?
Right.
Like one, just like,
Put and I don't mean on the payroll.
Yeah, I don't mean just like a man. I mean just like a dude.
Yeah.
Like someone to be like, hey, Tim Walz and AOC playing football on Twitch. That doesn't really. I don't care about that.
She didn't have a dude. You know what it's like? It's like all these terrible Hollywood movies that come out, and it's like if you just had one dude on there being like, I don't think any of this makes sense.
Yeah, there needed to be one straight guy in Wicked.
Yeah,
one straight guy that's like, hey, look at this freaking flying broad.
Are you gonna see Wicked?
I will see Wicked. I actually have never seen the Broadway play. Did you see the Broadway play?
Yeah, I've seen it. The Broadway play is very fun. I can't. It's Wicked is too much in my face that I'm countering Wicked.
Did you know, by the way, 2 movies. They're not even getting rid of it in one. It's a sequel. They're doing 2.
They're already doing a sequel to Wicked?
Yeah, it's coming out next year or something like that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It's all sequels and remakes.
And they better play that effing song. If
I go to show you the world.
That's the one. If I show up and they don't do the ah song there, I'm leaving. I'm rioting. I'm Jan 6ing the AMC on 86th Street. Next up, Lee Zeldon, famous Yid, has been put in charge of the EPA, according to Donald Trump, a prominent Jewish Republican, former congressman from New York, leading the Environmental Protection Agency. Trump announced Zeldon's appointment on Monday on Truth Social, saying, by the way, the New York Times, we got to get a Truth Social.
Yeah.
Zeldon has been a true fighter for America First policies. Zeldon seemed to indicate that he would remove barriers on fossil fuel production and also said he would work on developing artificial intelligence capabilities, but didn't really explain what that meant. While in Congress, Zeldon mainly voted against environmental protection legislation. In 2022, Zeldon voted against the Protect Public Lands and Waters Across the West Act, which, by the way, fuck the waters across the West.
I don't like it because I see the cons of protecting public lands. No. You know, I can't name them at the moment, but I can't stand when people protect public lands and water.
Have you been to the public lands?
No, I wouldn't touch it.
Not worth protecting.
I'm a private land man.
Democrats have described Zeldon as an unqualified anti-American worker who opposes efforts to safeguard our clean air and water. The Sierra Club noted that Zeldon voted against the Inflation Reduction Act.
Let me just stop you there. When the Democrats criticize the Republican, that's just Mad Libs that you were just reading. There. They just plugged in name of congressman, what they do.
Well, I do think that Lee Zeldon is a little bit of a problem. But here's my question. This is why I bring this in here. Yeah. Are you ready for this question? Halachically. Halachically.
Welcome to Halachic Questions with Eitan and Mike.
Can we talk about this halachically?
That's all we should be talking about. Anything, all the time.
Aren't you not allowed to litter halachically? How do you vote against the EPA? How do you vote against like the Free Air and Water Act halachically?
Can we
Dead
quote
serious.
That? I'm sorry. Can we quote that halacha?
You're not allowed to litter. Wait, you're allowed to litter?
About not. No, I mean, I'm sure you could tie it in that there was a king and then he threw a candy down and then everyone died of a plague or something. I'm sure
the failure to conduct oneself. Oh no.
Halacha about not littering.
Here we go. Jew in the city. Oh my God. That's right wing. Okay. Anyways, Talmud. So Bava Basra addresses responsibility that neighbors have towards one another, and a lot of these have to do with not polluting each other's properties. This includes not only physical pollution but also air pollution and noise pollution. Interesting.
Littering is strictly prohibited and considered a violation of the principle of Bal Tashchik, which means do not destroy, as it constitutes unnecessary waste and damage to the environment.
Excuse me,
Eitan, wow.
Lee Zeldon, halachically, I don't think you can get rid of the Clear Air and Water Act for the West.
Now, this is the argument that the Democrats shouldn't be saying, Lee Zeldon, you're terrible. Quote the Gemara.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
If Lee Zeldon was to ban the use of clear air pollution, of not having air pollution, and to get rid of the EPA acts that keep the water from being clean, then if he has in mind...
But Eitan, I have a question for you.
Go.
If he's banning this clear air solution, if it's nighttime and you can't see whether the air is clear or not, does it constitute as a Chilul Hashem or destroying the environment if no one has proof or has view or knowledge of the effect on the air?
So if he does it at night...
If he does it at night and no one sees... First of all, there's two problems.
If
there's Chilul Hashem, which is the problem of all Jews that you can connect to anything.
Listen,
Chilul Hashem should be the name of this
Let me
podcast.
just say, the underlying issue with this whole Lee Zeldon thing is Chilul Hashem.
Yes.
That is an actual problem that I think that at some point is going to have to be addressed, is that a lot of there's a lot of good Jews out there. There's a couple of... Baruch Hashem, there's a lot of good Jews out there. Mansella. There's a couple of Jews that are not great Jews. No. I would say that Lee Zeldon... Not a great Jew.
Epstein's
if we're being honest.
Island, the island itself was a Chilul Hashem.
The island, Epstein's Island, Little Jerusalem, as I call it.
No, you shouldn't.
I'm joking. That was 100% a joke.
Yep, that was a joke. Strike that from the record.
But there's an issue where some of these guys, would it kill Trump to get a goy who hates the EPA?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why are we putting ourselves
What you're
in
saying
this?
is you need someone who knows the Gemara through and through to be appointing the different people in Trump's cabinet so that they're not breaking halacha.
Yeah.
You need a Shabbos goy in the Trump cabinet.
But, like, isn't there a rule, like, you can't, if you're a Jew, you can't be an executioner, for instance. Like,
Correct.
that is an actual thing.
Correct.
I'm just saying out there.
That's why you got to hint to the goy next to you, like, I'm not sure if this person should die or not. If you happen to pull that lever, something might happen. I don't know. I can't see anything, so to pull that lever.
This is so funny, the idea that the Jewish executioner on Shabbos has to go out and find the Shabbos goy to kill this person. Oh my God. But anyways, I think at some point we got to kind of address that. That maybe not the best group of people have been doing this. All right.
Yes.
Next up, Jake Paul, a Jew?
Nine.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nine.
So this, over the weekend, I'm sure like a lot of other people, did you watch the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul?
Of course I didn't. It was Friday night.
It was Shabbos night. It was Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
It was Saturday night.
I'm pretty sure it was Friday night.
Jake Paul couldn't do it on Friday because he's Jewish.
Oh.
They had it on Saturday night.
You couldn't get a heter for the fight?
No, he couldn't get a heter. And then you know what else he said?
That was the top line of the New York Times Arrival, was Jake Paul can't get heter for a fight.
Jake Paul fights Mike Tyson after...
Heterless.
Heterless Jake Paul.
A heterless fight by Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
But Jake Paul, actually, he said that he couldn't do it. The two things he said, by the way, he's like, I can't do it on Friday night. Also, Lee Zeldon, halachically, should not be in charge of the EPA.
Yes. Those were the controversial statements.
Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson on Saturday night on Netflix. The event itself was a little bit of a debacle. The stream kept on freezing. Mike Tyson looked like old. Like it kind of felt like elder abuse.
58.
Yeah.
Which is what he is.
And he also, later on, he put on Instagram or Twitter or something like that he had been in the hospital and lost like 25% of his blood a couple months before. He looks like he just got out of the hospital.
Yes.
Also, they didn't show his knee brace until he got into the rink, which was a whole other issue. But if there is one interesting, non-controversial thing, did you watch any of it?
I did not.
It was weird. It looked like the Biden-Trump.
I've seen enough people beat up old men.
I
watched. Yeah, I watched the last 4 years of the presidency.
Oh yeah,
it's been tough.
It did look like the Trump-Biden
yes,
debate.
It was a physical reenactment of the Trump-Biden debate.
You can just tell, like, he didn't want to hit him. Like, at some points, you can just tell that he was, like, pulling punches.
And you know why he didn't want to hit him?
No.
Meatos.
Oh, because after this fight happened, there was a torrent of articles that came out yesterday that apparently Jake Paul is a Yid. He's a Heilige Yid. The reveal happened during a Logan Paul vlog.
The Jake Paul reveal happened when they were weighing him in, and he had to take off his pants.
Yeah, remember how there was a picture. The meme of the night was Mike Tyson turning around and his butt was exposed.
Oh.
And then the second meme of the night was Jake Paul turning the other way and showing his foreskin, no longer there. But apparently, Jake Paul... so during this video in 2016, Logan Paul was talking to his mom. His mom said, and this is a quote, "You have a little Jew in you." Wow. Which, very Jewish way to let your kids know that you're a little Jewish.
You have a little Jew just enough that you should know that you have a little Jew in you.
You should feel it.
Yes.
You should feel a yearning.
Yes.
A longing for Torah.
Lashana haba.
But she then went on to say, quote, "Grammy was a Bucksbaum and her dad was a Bucksbaum," which, very Jewish statement. According to JTA, a search of genealogical records appears to explain that Jake and Logan's...
Did JTA do this search of genealogical records, or is it someone else that does it?
No, I think the JTA is a little bit creepy. I think
JTA was able to get some spit from the Mike Tyson fight that flew out of Jake Paul's mouth, and they found out A, that he has Jewish heritage, and B, he has Tay-Sachs.
Yeah. It was an unfortunate high level good, very low level. If he marries a brunette, he has to get genetic testing now. I think that's what it comes to.
Absolutely.
He get punched, and then some rabbi was sitting ringside, felt the sweat, and went, "You know what? That is Lillian and Harry Bucksbaum's kid."
Yep.
But the genealogical records appear to explain that Jake and Logan's great-grandmother, who Pamela refers to as Grammy, was Lillian May Meredith Bucksbaum. Her father was Isidore Bucksbaum. The Bucksbaums came to the United States from Germany and settled in Massachusetts. And buried in Moses Mendelssohn Cemetery.
Great cemetery. Shout out if you're watching from that cemetery. Yeah. We love Moses Mendelssohn Cemetery.
We got to try to get a cemetery sponsorship. We
need a plot.
Yeah. You know what? Cemetery sponsorship, and I want to get sponsored by Montefiore Hospital.
Oh yeah.
I like how what's his name does. Who's the actor from Billions that does their commercials now? Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Giamatti's doing Montefiore Hospital.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's doing Montefiore
Paul
Hospital.
Giamatti got Montefiore?
Yeah, he booked Montefiore.
That's headline news.
Yeah.
That is not an easy gig.
No.
I've been trying to book Montefiore for years, and I just don't have the insurance to get in.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we got to get a sponsorship from Montefiore and
the cemetery.
Jake Paul is Jewish. The last thing that happened with it was upon learning that he is Jewish, Logan Paul said back, because let me just point it. Upon learning that he is part Jewish as well as part Welsh, part Irish, and part German, Logan Paul responded, "So I'm just an ugly mutt," which I thought was a pretty good. He's got a little sense of humor. He's a Jew.
Yeah. That's exactly. I hate that that's exactly how I would respond.
Yeah, totally. I'd
no
be
pride in it, nothing. He's
No.
just, I'm an ugly mutt. And people laugh, and then they persecute him later.
It was weird is that his dad then threw a bunch of pennies at him.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I thought was inappropriate.
That's how he got paid in millions of dollars for this fight. People just threw pennies down onto the boxing ring.
We got two more stories here. Yeah, let's do two more. We'll do two more stories here. We are running a little bit out of time. A Ben & Jerry's battle over Israel, long frozen. There it is from the JTA or Haaretz. Thaws along amid new Gaza war. So there is more lawsuits relating to Ben & Jerry's and them not liking the deal they have under Unilever. The situation is that every once in a while, Ben & Jerry's tries to take on not just a pro-Palestinian side but like a really aggressively, like they want to sponsor JVP, they want to do stuff like that. So this has always been a battle between them and the company that owns them, Unilever. If you remember, I think this is pre-October 7th, they tried banning Ben & Jerry's in Israel.
Yeah.
It turns out to be the person that owns the license was like, okay, well, that doesn't really matter. We own the license. We can distribute wherever we want, so you can still get Ben & Jerry's in Israel. The story goes that the years-long legal battle between Ben & Jerry's and its company Unilever is back. The ice cream company, whose brand advocates for progressive cases, stirred controversy in 2021 by saying it would prevent its product from being sold in the occupied Palestinian territories. This time, it is accusing Unilever of censorship, intimidation over their support of Palestinians, which has intensified during the Israel war in Gaza. The new lawsuit filed on Wednesday claims that Unilever attempted to dissolve Ben & Jerry's independent board and tried to prevent the brand from taking a number of pro-Palestinian positions. The suit specifically alleges that Unilever worked to stop Ben & Jerry's from calling for a ceasefire in Gaza.
Check your beeper.
Which its board did in January. Ben & Jerry's accused Unilever of threatening to dismantle the brand's board and sue individual members if proceeded with his plan to endorse a ceasefire. Now, the issue is that this isn't just a ceasefire. What they are trying to endorse is money going to groups that have had a history of being fairly anti-Semitic over the past year.
Right. Here's a lot of issues with the Ben & Jerry's. First of all, you can't name your ice cream Genocidal Jerry. Mm-hmm. You can't name it Colonization Cherry.
It's too close.
It just hits a little too. I don't know if you've heard of any of these other Ben & Jerry's themed ice creams, but they're a little bit on the nose.
I'm trying to think if there's
Imperialism Israel.
Iron Bowl.
Iron Bowl.
And it's like
and it's a bowl?
Yeah, it was a bowl of ice cream.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing real Iron Dome. No, I got nothing with Iron Dome.
They had the Vermonster. Maybe it could be the West Bank Settler.
Ooh, I do. Oh, West Bark?
Bark, that sounds yummy.
And it's got like peppermint bark in it. Maybe.
All eyes on mint chocolate chip.
Is there something like Almond Al-Aqsa?
Almond Al-Aqsa?
Like Al-Aqsa almond berry smash.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
What else?
Oh, peanut butter BBs.
Peanut butter BBs.
There you go, peanut butter BBs.
I'd eat it.
This is not an endorsement of BB. Anyways,
but it is an endorsement of peanut butter.
There it goes. But yeah, the last part of the lawsuit says that Unilever stopped Ben & Jerry's firm from directing part of the $5 million it received in 2022 settlement for groups helping Palestinian refugees, including JVP, Jewish Forces for Peace, which is the issue. Now, I don't have it. Here's my big problem.
It always comes back to JVP, doesn't it?
Those fucking Jews. Anyways, I am totally fine with Ben & Jerry's sending money over to like the Gaza Children Fund and stuff like that. I think that there's definitely causes. They don't want to do that though. They want to be controversial. And I am now at a point where Trump won the popular vote. We don't have to pretend anymore like these like certain organizations aren't very bad and don't help Palestinians and have made their entire thing be anti-Israel and anti-Jewish. JVP is one of those.
So the money is going to JVP, some of the Ben & Jerry's money, or they're just giving free ice cream bars?
No, they are.
Ice cream bars, JVP, they could get pretty creative, but I don't know what they're doing with ice. Maybe they chuck them at they sneak in ice cream bars, but maybe they're chucking them at Jewish students.
No, the way that it works is that basically Ben & Jerry's had $5 million that it won in a lawsuit, and they wanted to send a bunch of that money to JVP and some other groups. JVP is really the only one that's like listed in this. And when that happened, Unilever said that, it would just ban the board, and there was like tension between. There's really a conversation between Unilever potentially stopping Ben & Jerry's from doing what they want to do, which I guess you can do according to American law.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's like the controversy. Do you think they should
stop them?
Do you think they should be able to give out money to like JVP and stuff?
Yeah, do what you want with your ice cream money. I don't know, man.
It's $5 million.
Yeah, but they made ice cream. It's like if I sell lemonade and someone gives me money for my lemonade, I could give it to Hamas.
But no, you can't though.
What?
Like legally, you can't.
Really?
You can't fund terrorism because they're on an official terrorist watch
Even
list.
if I was selling lemonade.
Yeah, especially if lemonade.
Ah, dang.
They actually made a special rule about that.
That if you're selling lemonade, then you can't go lemonade to Hamas.
No, you cannot send lemonade to Hamas at all.
Dang it. Well, then no, I would disagree. You can't be funding terrorist organizations.
Yeah.
JVP, I don't know what they're under Homeland Security, what they're listed as.
Ooh, annoying. Yeah. You know what they're listed as? My freaking daughter and her friends. That's what they're listed as. Yeah, and then the last one we got is the Bible Bee story.
This is great. So the Bible Bee. People memorize nearly. Wow, I have a New York Times login, but I really can't see it. Do you have a New York Times login?
Yeah, I do have a New York Times login.
Okay, so you read it because it just went away.
All right, here we go. Daniel Chu's hobbies.
The Bible Bee.
The Bible Bee. Basically, this story is interesting to me because as a Jew, we have had the Brachos Bee.
Of course.
There is the national Talmud. Isn't there like a Talmud or Torah fair or bee that happens every year, and kids. I'm not making that up.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
There's like a global one, and then every once in a while.
Might be thinking of Siyum Hashas.
No, that is a traffic problem at best. That is a traffic problem, and truly one of the best places to buy a $15 single hot dog at MetLife Stadium.
Oh, yes. They make bank at Siyum Hashas.
They just rolling in hot dog cash there. The Bible bees, so we Jews, we have our bees,
Yeah, we have our bees.
The Bible bee, though, is a Christian version of these bees where students come.
As usual, the Christian version comes a little bit later. We did have the bracha bee first, and then the Christians are like, let's do a Bible bee.
It's a watered down, commercialized version of the original, the old Bible bee.
It's beginning to look a lot like Bible bee.
But so there is this like there's this Bible bee thing. I have actually known about the Bible bee for a while because their clips go very viral online. If you want to see a bunch of kids just like saying back like full Goyishe Pesukim of the Bible, that's like what these have you never seen any of these?
I've never
clips?
seen one. But
these clips are great.
I would love to hear a kid. Let's see some of these Bible verses that maybe they'd have to.
No. Wait. Here, go to the Instagram. Go to the Bible Bee Instagram because that is where.
Bible Bee Instagram.
Yeah, they go viral because these clips are like so just here. Look.
Lay up / store up for yourselves treasures, Natasha.
Matthew 6:19-21.
That is correct. Please recite. Your first passage.
I am so attracted to this host, and I don't know.
She's so hot.
I'm sorry, I can't think of anything else.
Caleb.
Second, 1 Chronicles 29:10-13.
That is correct. Can you please recite that for us?
1 Chronicles 29:10-13. Therefore David blessed the Lord in the presence of all the assembly. And David said, Blessed are you, O Lord, the God of Israel, our Father, forever and ever. Yours, O Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the victory and the majesty, for all that is in the heavens and in the earth is yours. Yours is the kingdom, O Lord, and you are exalted as head above all.
Does he dance
Both
at any
riches
point?
and honor come from you, and you rule over all. In your hand are power and might, and in your hand it is
He's
to
got
make
the
great
trup
and to
correct
give strength
also?
to all. And now, thank you, oh God.
And now, Mordechai, the first pasuk from your bar mitzvah parsha.
Wait, let me just say a couple things. One, that woman is so hot.
I could not hear any Bible verses.
I want that woman, and this may be a kink, I want her to yell at me, like, where are your papers?
Yes.
Like, that is what she looks like. I will also say...
It's called assimilation, Eitan.
Oh, God, I would love to assimilate her. These also, I will say, these are the most Jewish goyim I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's beautiful.
Oh, this is... We have this.
Yes.
We have
but
this.
But the woman is behind a mechitza, so you can't see her, but you hear her voice. But it's also through a robot voice because it's Goyishe, you can't hear her actually.
I also want to say, this is weak stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
We do it in Hebrew.
Yeah.
I don't
that was
Aramaic
English.
and stuff. That was in English.
Yeah.
He did it fully in English. God.
I want to see some Bubba Kama.
Annabelle, welcome to
the Bubba Kama bee.
Are you ready?
Oh.
Yes. All right, here we go. Annabelle, please recite Psalm 31, 1 through 14.
Psalm 31, 1 through 14. In you, O
Shout out to
Lord,
the music
I come
production
on
being
Wow,
on
that
this.
is nice.
Yeah.
Never be ashamed.
It'd be funny if they added tone to
Deliver me in your
the Bible bee.
righteousness. Bow down your ear to me. Deliver me speedily.
I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but I did
Lord.
baptize myself while watching this. And goodbye, New York Times. Hello,
Hey.
New Testament Times.
Where's that lady? I gotta find where that lady is. Anyways, do you have any other? We are running out of time.
We're running
here.
out of time.
Do you have anything else you want to say to the Jews before we sign off?
No, honey, I love you, and I'm looking forward to a long and happy life, and I'm looking forward to you bearing all of my children.
And she's British, so I can actually answer for her. Oi, mate!
Yep.
I can't wait for me too to be marrying
Yes.
you!
Eitan does this in front of her to her face all the time.
I would actually consider it one of the most offensive things that I do.
Yeah.
I say, look her dead in the eye, and usually, 3 feet, 4 feet distance?
Yeah, and usually you're
full
doing
loud,
usually
full
you're
level.
doing blackface, which doesn't seem necessary
Does
at all.
not
for
seem
the
necessary
accent,
at all.
But you do it.
Who am I, Dove Heikind?
Dun, 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 dun.
Anyways, that has been the New York Times. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all that stuff.
Why you Torah?
Torah. You can follow us on LinkedIn. But on top of that, tell everyone. This is a new little venture that we have. If you have any tips, if you have anything you want to say to us, DM either of us. We're not starting an Instagram for this. Just you have to follow it on our Instagram pages.
Send over merch, cozies. Eitan will hand out his address to you. And you could...
we'll take on sponsorship immediately.
Yeah, we're ready. We're open, we're ready, and we're available.
We'll take product. We will take money.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take even just, if you want to call and just say, hey, you're doing okay. Don't let everyone, what they're saying,
give us
affect
motivation.
you.
Plant a tree for us in Israel.
If you want to plant a tree in Israel for us, tell us about it, okay? Send us a
let us know.
certificate. We'll do that. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Goyach.